Hey everyone, I hope you're there. As there's so many of you there, I thought, yeah, you know, why not start? As we're here, thank you so many of you for turning up. That's really cool. I'll be going through the chat here in a second. Um, so this evening, just feel free to ask anything you like. Have a chat with each other. I don't mind. It's all friendly. All I ask is it's A, legal, and B, respectful. That's all I care about, yeah? If it's relating to modelling, that's even better. But otherwise, crack on, have fun. This evening, I'm going to be, while I'm chatting to you guys, I'll be building one of these. The reason, I've already built one for the channel, obviously, but I want to build another one because I want to use it in the future for a video about panel lines and setting decals and stuff like that. So this kit, it's fairly simple to make, which is nice. It came out of the set I bought for the Audi video earlier on, and it's actually got some quite nice panel lines, quite deep panel lines, so it's easy to get them looking reasonable. Okay, so I'll be doing that. Would have been doing my F-35, but it ain't arrived yet. Ha 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 ha. That's another story. All right, let's go quickly through this. Nick, hi Nick. Yeah, Pledge and Future, I don't use them. I honestly don't use them. I know people use them for making their canopies nice and clean. I've never tried it yet, but I saw someone has come back to you about that later in the thing. Crazy Locha, I am so glad you are here, dude. You will see Crazy Locha's name all over, not just my channel, but loads of people's channels. He's a real massive friend to this community, and I'm so glad he's here today. Great to hear from you, guy. Paul Taylor, good to hear from you too. To Boldly Go, hi all. Reefer Madness, yeah, Pledge Revive is what's called. Yeah, it's this stuff that I don't know if it's like a micro abrasive or it just melts the styrene slightly. I don't know how it works, but it's supposed to make your canopies really clean. Kevin, Ronald, Robert Tube, fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed here as well, man. You know, this is a bit scary, but you know, I've done worse things in my life. Simon John, yeah, it's not one of my intros. I blew that, didn't I? I was going to come in, you know, in the words of Frankie Goes to Hollywood, welcome to the Pleasure Dome or something like that. Didn't do it. Next time, I'll work on one for next time. I know you guys like the intros. I like doing them. Why not? Yeah, Reef Madness. Yeah, there you go. You can spray it on the diluter. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Modern King Betch. Hi, yes. Sorry I didn't disable the sound earlier while I was messing around, but there we go. Yeah, Reese, hi Ash, good to see you. No, my F-35B hasn't arrived yet. I'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, 1968 Concorde, how are you doing, my friend? Really need to get together and go up to Heathrow and have a day up there just shooting the breeze and watching the planes. Yeah, we'll do that soon. Derek L, hi. ITA Mitch, hi. Gavin, quickly, while I'm on here, Gavin is a top guy, a top man. He's recently dedicated the build of the A37 Dragonfly, Super Tweet, as it's called to me. If you want to know about anything about figure painting, check out Gavin's page, at Gavin Booth. On Monday Matters or something, I'll put a link to it as well. You really need to check out his site. He's absolutely brilliant figure painter, and he's taken on an aeroplane to as a sort of little dedication to me. I'm going to do something for you as well, Gav. In fact, I know what I'm going to do for you already, my friend. So watch out for it on the channel. Adam, hi. I'm catching up here. Gav Piss Models, hi, Adam. Yeah. Do. Mark's Hobby Bench, hello. Daniel, hi. Jake, how you doing? Jim, yeah. Dean, hi. How you doing? Hey, Moz, good to see you, man. Very jealous you got your F-35 today. I didn't. I was really annoyed about that. Hobby Time, hi. Stuart, hello. Randy Taylor, hello, Randy. How you doing, fella? Owlman's Cave Hobbies. I like that, Man Cave Hobbies. I love it. Lossy Mouth. Oh, man. I missed out on going to Lossiemouth when I was an air cadet. We had like an annual weekly camp, normally at Easter or in the summer, and I missed out on Lossiemouth. Well, I think I was doing my gliding course. I know the rest of the guys went up to Lossiemouth and they still have Nimrods, and a couple of them got a trip in a Nimrod up there. Amazing. Would have been really cool. David, yeah. TK Skin Models, hello. Gary Wallace, yeah. Gary Wallace, yeah. Ferry, how you doing? I should have learnt the Dutch for hello. I'm sorry I didn't, but Ferry, good to have you along from all the way over there. Adrian, hi. Guys, oh, Daniel and David, thank you all so much. Thank you all for your messages today, by the way, about the 10,000 subs thing I did earlier and the fact that I now have 10,000 subscriptions. It's all thanks to guys like you. So, you know, what can I say? It's just been a lot of fun so far, but it's going to be more fun going forward. The F-35B, yeah, that was pre-ordered. However, what I think has happened is that I also, if you remember, bought a SM-79 with my flying hours, the Savoia Marchetti SM-79. They phoned up today to get the payment for that, so I think they're putting the two in the one bundle and sending it out, and I'll get both of them tomorrow, which is fine, whatever. The rest of the videos are all ready to go, so just got to do the unboxing, There's a bit of history, there's a survey of kits as well, so that's all there. Yeah, let's see. It'd be great to get that SM-79 eventually and just check out what it's like. Cause I'm a bit wary. It's a vintage classic. Yeah. Not sure what they're going to be like. I've only made one vintage classic, and that was the Joseph Stalin 3 tank, the JS3 tank, which as a kit is as old as I am. That's old. That's really old. Yep, thank you very much. Driving and listening crazy Locha, just please keep the black rubbery stuff on the black tarmacy stuff, okay? Please, just be really careful out there. Ash, yes, I'm getting the F-35 as yeah, RAF Valley, Jake, RAF Valley, have I been to RAF Valley? Yeah, they were flying Hawks at the time. Yeah, nice, bit remote, mind you, Anglesey, bit remote, but yeah, RAF bases tend to be. Gary Camp, how I got started. How I got started on YouTube, or how I got started making models again. Making models again, I mentioned that in the video I did earlier. It was a free offer with a newspaper one weekend about 5-6 years ago, and my dear wife picked up the free kit from Smith's or whatever. It was a Spitfire 1 starter set, and she said, well, I'll give these to the grandchildren to do, and I said, no you won't, I'm going to have that. And so sadly neither of my granddaughters are model makers, but I got mine. I built it, thought it was really fun, started doing some stuff for my dad, who, as a lot of you know, was in the Fleet Air Arm, so built planes he was familiar with, built one model of his ship and all the rest of it. Started building all of the planes that his squadron ever flew from 1933 to 2010, and including lots of different scheme options and folding wings and unfolded wings and all the rest of it. Came to about 40 something kits, all in 1/72. And then my stepson just said, you know, you should be doing this on YouTube. So I started doing a few videos about gardening, which if you go right to the very back of my streams, you'll find somewhere. And yeah, I think 18 months ago I had 10 subscribers, so now I've got 10,000. Obviously model making is a bit more lucrative and interesting, and I'm better at it than I was ever at growing basil or radishes, frankly, but there we go. So that was it, and it just kind of took off from there. So that's how it started. I'm kind of lucky that my wife has been a photographer. Her career was in photography. My training's in scientific imaging, so kind of knowing how to use cameras and setting up lights and stuff like that, I know all of that sort of stuff to some amount. So I can kind of get reasonably good pictures. I know about video editing. I can do what used to be Photoshop, now I use something called Affinity Photo to do all of the things like this, the background that you see here, and all of my intros and things like that, handling all the archive material, turning them into pictures on the screen. All of that I know how to do anyway. It's not difficult to pick up if you want to do it. If you're on a Mac, you can do it on iMovie really easily. I now use something called Filmora, which is very good. So yeah, that's how it got started. That's where it's going. And so I hope if you're going to have a go at it and you need some advice and you've got questions, just ping me a question somewhere and I'll answer it. Don't worry. I'm not going to try and say, oh, this is our territory, don't want new people. There's more people that come up, the better, because there's more ideas, there's a bigger sharing of knowledge and experience, and that is all very cool. Bessie Japanese bomber in 48. I honestly don't know. If someone can look it up on Scalemates or something like that, see if anyone does one, that would be great, please. Jim, well, I'm glad I'm doing the live stream as well, actually. I am slightly concerned I'm going to be talking for 2 hours, but hey, whatever. That's what it's all about, eh? Yeah, and I'm also looking forward to the SM79 myself. I'm looking forward to the build of it, actually. Yeah, and it's very true that with vintage classic kits, one thing you do is you can see the difference. You see the difference between what was available in the 60s and 70s and what they can do now in terms of build quality and moulding accuracy and stuff like that. But also, yeah, you can bring some modern equipment and tools and fluids and whatever to the game that you never had when you were a kid. And yeah, it can be better. Obviously, also with vintage classics releases, they do things like they get the decals reprinted, so they're proper modern cartograph decals that they release. And on occasion, they do things like reverse engineer things like the transparency. So if it's a really nice kit, but the transparency isn't quite right, and they think they're going to sell enough of them, they will actually reverse engineer, make a new tool just for the transparency, and put that in. But yeah, that's cool. Crazy Ledger, as I said, is a huge supporter of this whole community, and he's just gifted 5 memberships to some people, which is lovely. Ross, my favourite memories from the Air Cadets. Oh, that is tough. Learning to glide, doing a gliding course, that was phenomenal fun. Flying in a Hunter, a T7 Hunter, was brilliant. We were at Broady, and one of the guys going through tactical weapons at the time was an old boy of our school. So he offered someone a flight, and I was the lucky one that got picked. So in some respects slightly unlucky, because I also had to do a day of ejection seat drill and immersion drill and all the rest of it, because we're flying from Broady in South Wales and they take off and they go straight over the water. So if anything happens, that's where you're going to end up, and so you have to do all the drills. So it was a cold and wet day, but followed by just an unbelievably fun day. And also, it was just the experience of being so close to the RAF and getting a feel for what it's all about. There were days when the RAF still had loads of really cool stuff. I mean, I think at St Athan, it's a primary maintenance base, and they had a Vulcan there, and we were walking around inside the bomb bay of a Vulcan. Goodness sake, it's all sorts of weird stuff like that. Took us to a lot of really cool places, and I'm still in touch with a few of the guys from there, and it was 40 something years ago. We were last at school together, but I'm still in touch with some of them, which is really cool, which is really nice. It's a great thing if you know anyone who's thinking of joining up Air Cadets and whatever. It's really cool. There you go. Tamir has a 48 scale Betty. Excellent. Yeah, fantastic. Hi Fred, Barry. Oh right. Oh, okay, just did the 124th the old Hurricane. Amazing. Cool. Did you know Tony in Lavender Hill? No, didn't know Tony in Lavender Hill, I'm afraid. As I say, I've only been doing back to buying kits for the last sort of 5 years. The last time I did it before that really was like when I was like 15, 16, and I used to just go up to, there's a model shop at the corner shop, like a 10-minute walk from my house at the local parade of shops had a model shop that was there for years and years and years. So sadly, of course, no longer there. Hey Joe, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks very much. Yeah, Ross, it is an eye opener. It is. You can kind of see some of the downsides as well when you go on camps. If your eyes are open, you can sort of see past all of the gloss and the glam, and you can see, well, this is what barracks are like. And you can actually chat with active service personnel, and they'll be honest with you. If some of them are properly on program, and yeah, you definitely want to join up, you want to do it because it's great. And some of them go, yeah, do you know what, it is a great life, and they'll tell you the downsides. And you really need to look at the downsides as well as the upsides before you sign on the dotted line. But it's a great experience, even if you've no intention of going into the services. It can be an amazing experience. You can learn some really cool things. Where have I put my KTY? But it is still on the diorama. Thank you for saying it's cool. It's in my office next door. Perilously balanced. Storage is becoming a major problem here. Let me tell you, there's a little red desk table over there that's like, I don't know, 60 by 40 or 60 by 30 centimeters, and there's the big Spitfire, a Heinkel 111, a Mosquito, a 148 Spitfire, and the Comet I just did are all sort of built on that. Every flat surface I'm not actually using for building or photography has got kits on it at the moment, so I'm just looking into getting some boxes and start stacking them up. It is back there. It is in the other office. Yeah. Any plans on doing a flying bomb at some point? Do you know what? Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, maybe. Why not? Yeah. I'll see how it goes. Yes, I don't see why not. The build schedule is a little crammed at the moment, but always interested in strange new things. I think Takom did a kit, didn't they, not long ago, and it was like part for a diorama setup, and may even have had part of the launch ramp or something like that. That would be a nice one, because it's 1/35, so it's relatively big kit. That would be really cool. Jim, where am I located? I live in a place called Greenford, which is in sort of West London, between Wembley and Ealing, just off the A40, so really not far from Heathrow in one direction, and the RAF Museum and Hannants in London in the other direction. Quite a handy place to be if you like aeroplanes. I can look out of the production room here, as I like to call my spare bedroom, and see planes on approach to Heathrow, which is really cool. Yeah, don't worry, Gav, it's no problem, man. We'll catch up. Arison had to work on Harrier T8. Oh, excellent. What a nice machine to be working on. Alrighty. Oh, yeah. Yes, modelling kit bench about messaging me earlier about HMS Triumph. Yeah, it's a shit my dad sells, and it turns out there was the mess CPO was also someone, relative of the group, as it were, which is fantastic. These ships weren't that big. I mean, okay, they were on almost a war footing, so it's 2,000 people or so. But it's an awful long time ago, and my dad's 93 this year. So obviously, very sadly, an awful lot of his shipmates aren't around anymore. But there's still a surprising amount that are, which is really cool. Rob, I've used a lot of paints in my airbrush. I do use a lot of paints in my airbrush. I tend to use Vallejo Model Air most of the time. I will use other paints if I haven't got what I need. I've got some sort of Tamiya acrylics. I will use Humbrol and dilute down some Humbrol acrylic if I need to, but most of the time it's Vallejo Model Air. It's supposed to be like, it's called Model Air, so you can just chuck it in an airbrush and use it. You can't. Some of them are really, really thick and some of them are really, really thin. So you still need to experiment with adding bits of filler. You definitely need to add some flow improver, which is like a slight retarder. Otherwise, they will start drying up in the nozzles really quickly. But, you know, I like them. There's a massive range of colour. They seem pretty good most of the time. And you know, I'm not necessarily of the level where I can pick and choose, and it makes that much of a difference, to be perfectly blunt, at the moment. Still very much on a learning curve about everything I do, including spraying and stuff like that. Hobby time, loved his time in the ATC. Well, grand. Really great, really great. A lot of the kits I've been doing have been FX M8. Am I going to branch out? Well, this year I've made a Revel, a Hobby Boss, what else? The gas patch. I've got all sorts lined up. So yes, I am. I do a lot of air fixes for a few reasons. Firstly, they're really easy for me to get hold of. You know, I just online, gone, done. I use their club, so I get 10% off, and I get the flying hours things, and I get quite a lot of flying hours over the year. I'm also in the hobby points thing, so you get 1 point per whatever. It's effectively 10% back in cash that you can then use to pay for kits. So I get 10% off, plus I get 10% back with the other scheme. And you know what? I like making them. A lot of people in the UK make them. They're very, very popular. They're very easy. They start off relatively simple. They've got their problems. Like every manufacturer, they've got their problems. Some of the production isn't great. Some of the plastic hasn't been great. I do think they're trying their best to improve all the time, which is great. You know, you see some of the kits that are coming out now are actually really nice, really nicely moulded, and all that. But there's always room for improvement. But you know what? Pretty much every kit I've made, there's room for improvement. Possibly with the exception of the gas patch Comet I just did, because that was just astonishing. That's absolutely amazing. Trying to catch up with all these things. Hi, don't. Anna, how am I so productive? It's really easy. This is all I do. This is all I do. 7 days a week. This is what I do. This is my life, is building model kits and making YouTube videos. So that's how I can be so productive. I can spend like 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day, whatever, if I need to, just making kits or making back when we were doing Monday Matters. Sunday is absolutely sacrosanct in our house. That Sunday is the day when I do Monday Matters, and that cannot change. That's got to be there 7-ish every Monday with a different intro every week. That I've got to do. I'm glad so many of you like it, because I have to be honest, I love making kits, but Monday Matters is my favourite thing of the week. I actually really look forward to Monday. I get it's great. Sunday, put everything this way. Monday Matters. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm so glad you guys like it. Yeah, got to get me making some choppers. You know what? I built the 48 scale Lynx recently, and I really didn't enjoy it that much, I'm afraid. Could be the kit, could be me. I don't know. Just didn't really enjoy it. They're so darn fiddly. Maybe I'll do some more. I don't know. Maybe I'll check out doing some more. Don't worry. I will do other things. Yeah, Darren, hi. How you doing, fella? Good to see you. Have I thought about putting my bigger models on the walls? I have, and I sort of thought, yeah, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Big thing's gonna be dust, you know. Big thing's gonna be dust, so I'll have to have a think about that. Hi, love my channel, thank you. Am I going to get the Airfix BF110? Yes, I will be getting that later in the year. When they're released, I think it's due out autumnish. It's a re-release, but with new markings. Maybe if I don't know if there's any new bits in it. Maybe I don't know if it's like made it a tropical version or not. I can't remember. But anyway, yes, I will. I haven't built ME110 yet BF-110, I will do. I definitely will be making one of those. Would I consider a 1/350th ship kit? I have made a 1/400th ship in the past, not for the channel, but I have made the Hele 1/400th Aramanche, which was originally HMS Colossus, and Colossus class of light fleet carrier was also contained HMS Triumph, which is what my dad was on, so I made a model of HMS Triumph for him, but a long time ago. And the photo etch on that was an absolute nightmare, and I really didn't know what I was doing about photo etch. I probably would make a lot better job of it now than I did then. But yeah, I will. I have got a 1/600th HMS Devonshire from Airfix to make, and I have got a set of resin upgrades for that from Starling Models, and I'm going to order the Atlantic Models photo etch for that as well. There's a guy, I mentioned before, I think on Monday Matters, that I went to my local IPMS affiliated club, Harrow Modelling Society, a little while ago, and there was a guy there. I said, well, one of the things I want to do is do a marine diorama. I want to do some water, and they said, oh, you want to talk to so and so who's here? He's not here today. Come back. He'll help you out on all that. So that is being planned as well. If the 600 goes okay, then maybe I'll look at something a little bit bigger. Who knows? Right. What else have we got? I haven't even started doing anything yet. Someone said that was going to happen. I'm just going to be here answering questions, and do you know what? That's cool. That is cool. Yeah, don't forget the double points on Insta. I think yes, you get if you've collected some hobby points, they're worth twice as much over the Easter weekend. That's pretty cool. My favourite kit manufacturer. Well, look, I'm going to say obviously the one I make best is Airfix, and I have been very lucky in that I've been able to sort of get in communication and chat with them and get to know the guys, people like Dale, the head of brand, the designers who are just so good. Everyone there actually is really pleasant and friendly and helpful. Which is the best thing of all, and they're just nice guys. They've invited me to events and stuff like that, so it's very easy to say they're my favourites because they actually do a lot with me, because then also they're in the UK. I will say when I was young, I only made Airfix kits. I maybe made a Revel kit now and again. Things like Monogram were like, whoa, can't afford those, man, they're just crazy. But Airfix was like everywhere. I forgot to mention Luke, the researcher, Luke Slane Hewitt as well. He is really cool. He's really fun. He helped me a lot with my Spitfire, my 1/24th Spitfire conversion. Kept telling me all the different bits of the kit I would need if I was making an FR9. So that was really cool. I guess yeah, Airfix would be my go-to choice most of the time. However, the Hobby Boss ME262 I made was delightful. Just lovely. If the rest of their kits are like that, they're great. As I said, the Gas Patch 163, ME163 was phenomenal. I would definitely buy something from Gas Patch again. There's loads. Revel made the F-15 Strike Eagle before. That was beautiful. They've all got their pros and cons, I guess. But yeah, I guess most of the time I'm still going to be making Airfix, really. Yeah, an E-boat would be great. Yeah, well, maybe I'll look into an E-boat. Okay. Aoshima, yeah, I've seen that. I've also seen I think it's from Trumpeter or something like that. One of the Trumpeter group has just released a Queen Elizabeth class carrier in 1/700th, which is a bit awkward for people like Airfix, seeing as they're like our capital ships and someone else has made a kit of them. Okay. Yes, I've done TIE Fighter and an X-Wing from Star Wars in the past, a long time ago, I have to say. Southdown Model Show, Benedetto, I will check out what I'm up to. It's a Saturday, so I don't have to get into my Sunday. That sounds cool. I may well see you down there. Yeah, Hawk of Fury and a Demon. Maybe so, maybe so. Adam mentioning the Facebook group. Yeah, thanks. Also, yeah, a lot of guys. You know, what a week and a half, 2 weeks ago or something. I had like 100 members, and it's like 230 or something. And again, it's just been a lot of guys coming along who, you know, they've just been nice to each other, but they've been really helpful. I'd love it to be somewhere that someone who knows nothing about kits, who's been given a kit, could just look it up and saying, you know, help me, how do I do this? And they get a lot of really positive advice and a lot of good feedback and honest advice, and not trying to be, oh yes, well what you do is you go away for 20 years and then you go and study with a master who doesn't it. Forget all that. I'm not into that nonsense. That's what I'd like on the Facebook group, and that's what I'm seeing. A lot of people asking questions and a lot of really, really good tips and hints coming through, a few of which I'm going to pinch as well, by the way. Tutorial on airbrushes, yeah, that's a possibility. I'm going to try and do a few more tutorial type things on things that I feel that I've got something to offer, basically. There's a lot of really talented guys with airbrushes out there, so maybe I'll do a bit more practice. Maybe I'll see how it goes with the SM79 with all those wiggly things, and yeah, maybe. But that's something I would like to do, just like to do. Okay. Oh, the Revel 132 Spitfire, excellent. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think we're up to date so far. We do. Yeah. You know what we do, Mark? Need to get younger people into the hobby. I did blow it with my granddaughters. I've got to be honest. But tell you what, when we went to Airfix last summer, they gave us a goodie bag with some stuff in. There's a couple of quick build kits in there, and I kept the Harrier for myself because I loved it. But a couple of quick build cars I gave to a neighbour's boy, and he absolutely loved it. So you never know. You never know. He might be coming into it good. Yeah, Rob. Yes, TimberTech is actually what I have used for a long time. Mine died on me when I did the 48-hour group build. A bit jammed in the valve, the pressure valve bit. But you know, I used it for a long time and quite a lot. Still got the compressor. I just got a different airbrush. But yeah, they're really cool. Really cool. Dave, you're going to build the new 124 Spitfire. Good man. It's a beautiful, beautiful kit to make. There's a lot of videos around of things, and obviously I'm going to say check out my videos, Natch, but do check out a few other videos on YouTube. There's a few good tips and tricks out there that will make it go easily. It's not a bad kit. There's just every now and again things like putting the spars into the wings. You really have to pay attention to that, because then if you get that right and do it properly to begin with, then the fitting of the fuselage is so much easier and so much better. Little tricks like that, but it's well worth watching. But the kit itself is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What do I think, paintbrushes or airbrushes? For me, purely for me, any large area I paint with the brush, airbrush rather. So large expanses I airbrush. I'll do cockpits and that, but then small bits and pieces I always paint with brushes. I don't do big like wings with brushes. I've seen some exceptional work on YouTube of people that do, but for me it's just a lot easier and quicker and lazier to spray them. That's just me. Have I been to the Fleet Aero Museum? Yes, I have. I had the very great pleasure a few years back now. It was, well, it's just before COVID, I think, a year before COVID. I took my dad down to the Navy Air Day at Yeovilton. We stayed over in Yeovil, and then the following day we went to the museum, which was really cool because the attacker that they have is from 800 Squadron. He remembers that actual aeroplane from when he was on HMS Eagle. So when he came back from Korea, the squadron was disbanded temporarily, where they were flying the C-547, and then reformed on the attacker initially at RNAS Ford in Sussex, and then they went to sea on HMS Eagle, and he was on that cruise with Eagle up to Norway, and then some exercises off the coast of Norway. So he remembers that actual aeroplane. But yeah, he remembers a lot of other planes. There's a Spitfire, a Seafire 17 I photographed him in front of as well, which was beautiful. Yeah, cool. Whatever. Tape residue. I don't know about that. If anyone's got some ideas, that would be absolutely fantastic. If you've got any clues how to get tape residue off, that'd be great if you could help out with that. Tony, the model show at the Havilland Museum, Mosquito, on Sunday 14th of May. Oddly enough, a guy who was at the Harrow Club volunteers there, I think on Wednesdays. So I'll have a chat with him about that. Maybe we'll come on to that. What? Got so many. It's kind of whizzes through, and I'll just pick up. I have actually only got one airbrush. It's a something a yada yada Fender, and a Timbertech compressor. Only just the one. And it works. I think it works fine enough for what I want at the moment. It's grand. It's grand. Cleaning an airbrush after use, between use, I really just do clean it a lot. Actually, I clean my airbrushes quite a lot. My airbrush quite a lot. Every use, flush it through, and always remember to flush it through. But when you've still got a bit of water left, put your finger over the end and press the compressor so it sort of pushes the stuff back out of there. Get rid of that because you don't want it going back through the system. I flush it through. Airbrush cleaner, I use the Sprue Box airbrush cleaner as well. Basically just flush it through with water and then a bit of cleaner until what comes out is absolutely clear, and that's fine. I do generally clean it between every use. Also with a lot of acrylics as well, if you don't clean them between uses, they'll dry in the nozzle, and then you've got to take it apart and clean it. So keeping it clean all the time is actually really important, especially with acrylics. What was my thought on more unusual kits? Yeah, I love an odd aeroplane. I must admit, I love an odd aeroplane. There's someone like A model or something like that has made a model of the parasol, where it's basically a circle, it's a disc with a plane stuck underneath it. I just love all of that stuff. I love all of the stuff from like the 50s and 60s, especially like in Russia and in France and in the USA and here. People were building stuff because they didn't have fancy CFD systems and predictive computer whatever. They kind of figure out, yes, we've done the calculations, it should fly, so we've built one, and they get some poor test pilot to strap themselves into it. Off you go, and see what happens. Sadly, they lost an awful lot of very, very good pilots in the 50s and 60s. But, you know, out of it comes some of the greatest planes of all time. You know, you also learn from your mistakes. You know, you make a plane, it's absolute rubbish, but then you figure out why it's absolute rubbish, and the next one's better and stuff like that. I love them all. I love really odd aeroplanes. I just always have. Do you just look over the questions? I don't know. There's so many questions, Martin. I can only answer so many, I'm afraid. Otherwise, we will be here. I do build a lot of airfix kits. Great. The English Electric Lightning. I have just got the new a kit of the Lightning that I will be building soonish. Yeah, I will be building it soon. As far as I can see, it looks really nice, and it's one of my favourite planes. I wish they'd do the 148th again, but yeah, I will be building one. So I haven't built one for 40 years or so. The mould has changed quite considerably since then. So as soon as I've built one, my friend, I will be up there and I'll have it on the channel. I really will. Which is better, Revell models or FX models? You can't really answer that. Depends on what you want and what kit you're buying. The Revell Panther I made recently for the 48-hour build was really nice. As I say, the F-15 I built last year was good. Their like entry level Corsair F4U Corsair, I thought Corsair was a nice kit to build. Um, there's loads of really nice FX kits, but then both companies have got some real nightmares as well in their catalogue. Um, it's as good if you're thinking of buying one just to a check out its history on something like Scalemates, see whether it's a relatively new mold or not, and also check out on YouTube see what guys have built and see how they think. You can't really say one's necessarily better than the other. It depends on what plane you want and how old the kit is, I guess, really. Oh, hi, Peter Mertz is here. Hi, Peter. How you doing, my friend? Um, Nail polish remover. Yeah, I heard that because it's got acetone in it. I was watching something just recently. I can't remember what it was, what channel it was. It was one I just started watching. Um, Barbados Rex, that was it. And he was cleaning out, he was doing a review of an airbrush, cleaning it out, and he used acetone in there. So, yeah, made sense to me. Um, yeah. Yeah, you've got to take the needle out as well. That's absolutely right. Jake, no, I don't have a 3D printer to print anything. Um, that's a long way up downstream, my friend. A, because I'll have to learn how to do 3D design, and that's a whole new ball game for me. I'm not sure how well my brain will focus on that. And yeah, I guess there's going to be times that. So what I could have done with it when I was making that 124th Spitfire, I wanted a camera to go into it. I could have maybe done a design of that 3D design and printed the camera to go in back, and I had to actually physically make one from scratch with bits of plastic card and whatever, and it's not great, but it'll do. I'd love it for things like that, but no, not yet. Uh, yeah. When I built the Revel bus, I don't know if about that. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? TSR2, Darryl. I would love to make a TSR2. I'd love it if Airfix released the 48th in a new tooling, to be honest. If I'm going to do a TSR2, I'm going to have to get a lot of aftermarket for it, though, because I'm going to do it once and do it well, sort of thing. So maybe that'll be a thing, doing stuff with aftermarket. I have got a Harrier GR9 I've been meaning to keep saying I'm going to build, and I've got a load of aftermarket for that, for the cockpit and for the an engine open thing on 72nd scale. And so I'm going to have a crack at that soon. So that could be quite fun to do that. But yes, I'd love to do a TSR2. I adore a TSR2, always have done. Yeah, right from the back day. That of course I've seen the one, both of them. I've seen the one at Cosford because I was on camp there once, and obviously the one at Duxford. So yeah, absolutely love them. Nail polish, yeah. Yeah. Goodness me. 48th GR4 is still wrong. Is the worst kit they do at the moment. Well, maybe. Little Nelly. Yeah, that's yeah, from James Bond, isn't it? Yeah, that's cool. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. Um, a BF190. I haven't built a BF190 from Revel. I built a BF109, I don't know which model it is, to my shame. It's the one that was a club kit a few years back that they did with RAF captured markings. It's 148th. That was a beautiful kit to put together. I can't honestly say whether it's better or worse than the Revel kit, because I've never made a Revel kit in that size. So, sorry, I can't help you on that. Yeah, Barbados Rex, Peter, is such a great place. Such a great place. Yes, again, it is a kit for me, and it is absolutely already on order. Ha ha ha. I did see a little thing. Hi, Christopher. Nick, good old mystery box Nick. I'm going to get the oddest flying model ever. Okay. Nick is Excuse me, I've just got to plug the lead into the laptop because it's come undone. Just been so excited by everything, and it just said, "Hey, your computer's going to go to sleep soon." Oh no, don't do that to me, Mick and Josh. Hey, there we go. That's plugged in now. Yeah, Nick is such a great guy. He sends me these secret boxes, and I undo them live. On, well, not live, but straight to camera. I don't edit it. I don't look at it first, wrap it up again, and go, "Oh, look at this." And the first kit he sent me, the Terror Cruiser with the Mace missile. Oh my god, that's just incredible. So I've got. Yeah, this is just one of the chassis members for it, for the two enormous wheels. You've got these crazy wheels on there that go in, and there's 4 of them on each chassis member, whatever. Absolutely amazing kit. So I'm working my way through that, and he also sent me 3 more kits the other day. If you, on Monday Matters, you'll have seen about that. And he sent me some stuff restart that goes live tomorrow. The video about that, and yeah. So now he's going to send me the craziest flying thing ever. I just hate to. Part of me hates to think what it is, but most of me is like a kid on Christmas Eve thinking, oh my god, something really, really fun and weird is going to turn up. Whatever it is, I will build it and I'll make a video of it. I always will do that. Peter, bye, y'all. Good to see you here. Really was nice of you to drop by. Reese, what's my favourite model kit to date? Tricky one. 1/24th Spitfire was an absolute delight to make, and I felt really proud of it because I went sort of really off-piste with it. I gave my channel viewers the choice of which of 4 finishes to do. One of them was the PRU Pink, the FR9, and that's what they chose. And of course that also meant that then I had to put a camera in it and do the camera window for it, move the radio, put an extra frame in the fuselage and stuff like this, then paint it pink. And I loved it, and I think it's actually not bad at all. Actually not bad at all. I'm really happy with it. The gas patch MU163 was a delight to make. What else? The ship I was telling you about, the Aramosh, that was really cool for me to make because it was my dad's carrier. I could make a model of his ship. I got some 1/400th Ferry Fireflies and C-547s printed as well, 3D printed, so I could put the aircraft on there. So that was a special build because it was his ship. There's been all sorts. The FX Vulcan was beautiful to make. The Lancaster's really nice. There's all sorts really. Yeah, I guess it's like choosing your children. Not that I have any, but it's easy. Trust me, don't have any. But yeah, it's your favourite pet, and we've got 2 dogs and 2 cats. I couldn't choose between them. Can't really choose between a lot of the planes I make. I just really enjoy them. Okay, Jesse Ford. I'm watching this from inside a T-34 on my iPad. Okay, that's pretty cool. You'll have to expand on that. Why you're inside a T-34 and why you're sitting looking at, and you're getting reception on your iPad inside a T-34. That's pretty darned impressive. John, I'll be doing any more war game figures? Yeah, I will. I do have some more to do. I've got some riflemen to finish, but we've seen those already. I have got some Dutch infantry from Napoleonic. Some is it Dutch? No, Portuguese. Sorry, Portuguese infantry. A regiment of Portuguese infantry to do. I've got a regiment of the Pavlovsky Grenadiers of the Guard to do as well. So yeah, I'll be doing them. I will be doing them. They a bit of a backseat at the moment, but I will be doing some more. I will. Am I going to build a F-14? Do you know what, Andrew? I have no doubt I will. I do like an F-14. It's a case of getting the kit and fitting it in that schedule because there is so much to build. I love an F-14. The new Academy A-10. Again, A10, lovely machine. Yeah, there are just everyone. Look, we all know this. There's just so many kits, so little time. What can you do? Beep 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 beep. We already have a loft extension, and that's our bedroom. So this used to be our bedroom. Where I am now used to be the bedroom. It's like the master bedroom, if you like, the front of the house bedroom. That became a spare room. It's got wardrobes down one side, and we used to have a bed in here. And then a little while ago, you got rid of the bed, and I turned it into a little modelling den. So thinking I'm then going to take over any more of the house, I think it is going to wash. I'm sorry. What's my favourite tool? The one I can't do without. Do you know that's I don't know really. I mean, all the time. Yeah, X-Acto knife, my tweezers. I like my tweezers. My spatulas for doing filling in stuff. I make my sanding sticks. I'm very fond of my sanding sticks. What can I just not? I can't do without a lot of the stuff. These old cheesy old cheap sprue cutters for one. I've got these Hobbycraft or something like that. I mean, not expensive by any means, but they do a nice job and they're still pretty sharp. Yeah, they still. I couldn't do without a decent pair of snips, I think. Other than that, yeah, pretty much everything else is just convenience rather than necessity, to be honest. Obviously things like the pin vise, little hand drills to drill holes is really important to get the right size holes so things don't wobble about. The clamps are really cool for holding on to stuff, but you know, the basic tools, just a decent basic set of tools and you're away. I don't have lots of fancy tools. I've got a Dremel thing, other small handheld drill devices are available, I'm sure. I've got one of those, but I barely ever use that on my models because, of course, they're plastic and you can drill with it, great, but you start using just sanding, it just melts the plastic thermally, and you have to get into really like slowing them down with step down motors, and I can't be doing with all of that. So yeah, just a pair of lights, video camera, and basic tools. That's most of the time that's what I use. Yeah, Blom and Voss. Oh yeah, they were lovely. The pink PR9 Polish Spitfire. Yeah, absolutely. Reese the Vulcan is a lovely build. It really is. Really is a lovely build indeed. Yeah, we were thinking of putting rebuilding the shed down the end, and yeah, it's not going to happen. But that's one thing we were thinking about, and then half of that would be mine, and the other half would actually be shed. But yeah, we'll do. Okay, why not? Cool, excellent. Darren, great to see you too. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Time's flying by. I've done absolutely nothing. So there we go. Mark 24, Mark 9 Spitfires, Johnny Johnson's. Yeah, with excellent, beautiful, beautiful ones. Absolutely amazing. What got me into wargaming? Well, when I was at college, I was in the rifle club at college, shooting club at college. We had a rifle range in the basement of one of the buildings, and I just got chatting with a guy who used to be a guardsman, actually a bandsman in the guards. He left the guards when they were told that he had to carry weapons and stuff like that. Before that, they were most of the time spent in lounge suits playing musical instruments, and they only ever really put on uniform for biggish parades. He did Troop in the Colour a few times and things like that. It's in the Grenadiers. And he was a wargamer, and we just got chatting one day, and I said, I've always quite fancied having a go at that. Went round to his place, played a game, British against French, Napoleonics, got hooked on it, and then just started building my own stuff, really. Yeah, really enjoyed it. It's just fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, cool. I need to get a motorhome. Yeah, and actually, Jake, I need something like that. I really seriously do need something. Hit the yes, yeah, yeah. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Please do hit the thumbs up. We always like thumbs ups. People say it don't make any difference, but you know what? I think they do. I think they do. If you get a high percentage of positive to negatives, that helps the algorithm make things. Did you ever get the Tilly built to go with your Katie ambulance for the late Queen? Yes, I did. I did. Pretty sure I've put it online before. If you check out, actually no, I haven't. I didn't put it online. I was going to say check out the video from last year about the best kits, but yes, I did. I did build the Tilly. Do you know what? In a moment, I might get up and go because it's only next door. What did I do before becoming an internet sensation? I'll let you know when I become one, Lee. What did I do before? I've done loads of stuff before. Most of my life, I was 24 years or so, I worked for a picture agency specialising in scientific pictures, and I worked for them for 24 years. Started off as a caption writer, ended up as their head of contracts and legal person, in-house legal, paralegal sort of thing. My job was to sign up new photographers, and I dealt mainly with institutions. So I signed up, people like the Smithsonian. I dealt with NASA all the time, and ESA, ESO, European Southern Observatory, CERN. Been to CERN a few times. One of the great places to be. I travelled all over. It's an amazing job. And then I was getting involved in organising exhibitions of science photography, and a job came up doing that. So it's that, working for a charity, the Royal Photographic Society, and I was doing that until 18 months ago. Pretty much about a year ago. No, a year ago. I was made redundant a year ago. So that's it. Most of my life has been in photography, scientific imaging to be precise. I know I used to chat with the guys at the Hubble Space Telescope every other day to get work from them. Because back in the day, there wasn't before internet. Oh God, I sound so old. Before internet, I would actually be faxing, faxing. Remember faxing? Faxing the guys at Houston to say, can you send me the press pack from STS-34, please? Shuttle mission, and they would FedEx a pack of 10-8 photos from the mission for us to then distribute. But obviously it then turned into, but yeah, that's cool. Met some amazing people, really amazing people. Met some really funny people, some amusing people, some people that actually you just sit in awe of. People whose names, if you're into science, you kind of know their names, and you think, wow, this is actually this person who discovered this. A few Nobel Prize winners and things like that. It was a blast. That was a real blast. And going around the world, it's been to Hawaii 3 times on business with them. That was a sweet job, I got to tell you. Why I've left that, I really don't know. But anyway, yes, Adrian, some of us remember telex. Yes, I know that. And faxes, yeah, I know, crazy. Plastic Alchemist, how you doing, dude? Good to see you here. Yeah, comparing answers, absolutely. Simon, no, if I go through my own Airfix online store link, it doesn't register. Not like I've tried it. I have, obviously, but yeah, it doesn't allow me to do that, sadly. But I still get 10% discount, and I still get the hobby points. So yeah, it's alright. It's not too bad. Can I remember the first kit I ever built? Oh wow. Kind of, yes. It was a Spitfire. Like so many people from of a certain age, let's say. Hell, it would be in 1969. 68, 69, Airfix 1/72 scale Spitfire, and I loved it. Enamel paints in those days as well, of course. I just loved it, and I started building more and more. I remember getting it was either the Sterling or the Lancaster for Christmas, and I had to negotiate with Mum and Dad over it because it costs 10 shillings and sixpence. 52.5p is what it would be in these days. Obviously it's not, but the equivalent is 52.5p, 10 shillings. And my allowance for Christmas, choosing Christmas present, was 10 shillings. So I had to negotiate the extra sixpence, 2.5p. Back in the early 70s, like 1970, I think, when this happened, that was a lot of money. And of course, very soon after that, we had decimalisation and all that. But I can still remember, taking £0.50 a week to school for our lunch money. Didn't have to walk up a long hill to the sound of Dvorak from New World Symphony or anything like that, and didn't ride down it back down like the Hovis boy does. It was in Fulham, so it's quite a slightly less bucolic existence, but still do remember the old money, as it were. Can't calculate it, but I do remember it. But yeah, that was it. Guess I guess that was it. It was FX Spitfire. Yeah, more interaction, better. Yeah, do you know what, Crazy Logi? I think you're absolutely right. The more we chat, and more we interact, then the better things are. YouTube likes it. YouTube likes chatting. It's good to talk. It's also good for our mental health. I sit in this room, I'm not like locked in this room. I do get up and walk out. I do take the dogs out every now and again, 2-3 days a week. But it can you can sort of be too focused on a lot of stuff, and chatting with people with like-minded. That's what I liked about going to the model club the other week. An evening just chatting about modelling. My mate Neil, who I've known since we first went to school together, first met Neil at school. It will be 50 years in September. 50 years, gee. I chat with him about modelling. Come and see me, go for a beer or two, and we just chat about making models, and we chat about rubbish, and it's good, and it's great just to take yourself out. And there's a lot of really, 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 really good people out in this community, and I'm coming up against one of them. I'm doing really well, thank you, Plastic Alchemist. I'm doing very well indeed. Do I remember the moon landings? You weren't born yet. Okay, Jake. Yes, I do. I remember them very, very well. I remember it would be about. I remember 11 because I think it's really late at night. That the pictures came back from the moon, and I was allowed to stay up to watch that on TV. I do remember the Apollo missions. I vividly remember there was a mission that was going to involve going to a place called Hadley Rill, which is like a kind of like a canyon system, and they were discussing how it was made, and they had like a sandbox showing you how it made, and that kind of just really sparked my interest in sort of spacey, sciencey stuff. And it was the guy who was doing the demo. Patrick Moore was there, and James used to do the connections. James Burke used to do a program on BBC. They were discussing it with a guy called Eugene Shoemaker. Now, Gene Shoemaker is like the daddy of planetary geology, the daddy of planetary science. Sadly, no longer with us. I was an hour away from meeting him one time. And sadly he just had left, and I was at the USGS in Flagstaff an hour after he had left, and sadly we couldn't catch up. But he was a massive influence on my interest in science. I got it from the sense of curiosity I got from my dad, and focusing on science was through watching things like that. They were wonderful days. Paul, I'm glad you think it. Please tell me this is a regular thing. So the thing was, Paul, I've never ever done anything like this before, so I got this software, OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, I think it's called, it's open source software, so it's free software. I've never tried this before. I've got the laptop thing. I've got a webcam thing that I've done nothing with. Trying to get all those together and then linking that to you, but I thought this is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be an absolute disaster. I don't know what's going to happen, and it's so far gone flawlessly. So yes, I'm thinking. Don't know what you guys think. I don't want to overdo it. Still what Monday matters. I still got the. This is a kind of very similar sort of chat and presentation I have with the special that goes out to all the supporters, by the way, normally on a Saturday. So I don't want to overdo it, but I'm really happy maybe first Thursday in the month to do this because it's really easy and I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. So yeah, I will, Paul. Best engineered models. So far, I will have to just purely on my recent experience. I'm going on about it all the time. That gas patch ME163, the engineering on that, absolutely exceptional. Check out the box opening. You'll see the delicacy of the parts that they mould in plastic. They all came off this. I didn't break a single thing. I don't think getting them off the sprue frame, whatever. Nipping them off or whatever, everything came off perfectly, and now they're going to have to clean off a little bit, but nothing broke. So the plastic's really good. The fit was epic. I mean, epic. It was a beautiful kit to make. If you're into that 1/48 scale ME262, my God, it's a beautiful kit and a great manufacturer. If they do more, they only do a few other kits at the moment. If they can do more, then I'll definitely be getting them. Yeah, okay. Jerry, yes. Yeah, see you soon, Jay. Good to see you, mate. Have to get yourself a Discord channel. Yeah, Discord and me don't get on. I tried it and I've got some issues with it. There's a group run by model officers, James Skiffin, sorry, Sprue with the inspiration box. My Discord is totally messed up on that, and I haven't had the time to mess it up to sort it out. But yeah, yeah, one day I will. Maybe a 10 bob note. Yeah, good for you, Robert. A hangout over Zoom. Do you know, baby steps? Yes, why not? I'm happy to do a bit more, but yeah, baby steps. I'll get this nailed down, and then maybe yeah, because I do need to get some decent interview software because I've got some interviews planned. I've got one that I have got plans that I haven't actually got a final date for, but yeah, I will be doing. There's a couple of others I want to do, so yes, but I haven't got the software for that yet, so I need to do that. I will be doing it. Okay. Yeah, I remember. 15. Thank you. Yes, it was 15. Thank you very much for that. I presume that's MC squared. I love that. Jesse, good to see you. Thank you very much. OBS has come a long way. I'm sure it has, but do you know what? I have to say it's properly plug and play. I'm really impressed by that. Really impressed. Yes, I will do. Yeah, I could, if I get a really early version of a kit and get the latest version of the same kit and do a comparison. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Yep, cool. If there's a kit I wished I'd never started or I wasn't able to complete because it was so bad. Right. Let me think. Since I've started YouTubing, I've finished everything I've started. I've started, so I'll finish is my mantra. Is there any? I don't think there's anything I haven't finished. There are kits I thought were just like, why did I do that? The Frog Supermarine Attacker. What a heap of junk. I mean, yeah, it's a really old kit. Really old. So yeah, there is that excuse. It's a really old kit. The fit is terrible. The reproduction of the shape of the aircraft is appalling. There's no cockpit. It's just it's flat bit with a pilot head that sticks up in two halves because it's halfway along the mold. The fit of the wings is terrible. The tailplanes are wrong, and they don't cant correctly, and they're slightly in the wrong place. The wheels are abysmal. Everything about it is terrible, terrible thing. I didn't even keep it to practice weathering on or anything like that. I just chucked it away when it was done. But that was done a long time ago. I got some attackers from AZ afterwards, which were marginally better. There's still a lot of issues because they're very old molds, but they're a bit better anyway. I made 3 of those because there were 3 marks of attacker: the F1, the FB1, and the FB2, and I made all 3. The FB1 with the wing fold as well for the 800 Squadron project. If you're interested in that, I should have mentioned this earlier. If you're interested in what I did before YouTube, as it were, in terms of model making, then I do have a blog. If you just do a search on Google for 800 Squadron project and look at WordPress, it should come up there, and there's like a whole range of stuff on there that I did for this project of building everything by 800 Squadron. Goes right back as well, right back to my early days picking up the hobby again. So some proper rubbish builds on there. The Revel stroke frog skewer I did was not good, but then I got the special hobby one later and did that. In made a wingfold, a scratch build wingfold for it, as well as 2 other versions of it. So yeah, there's nothing I would honestly say that I thought I'm not going to bother finishing it. Partly because if I do get something nowadays, it's for the channel. There's very, very little I do at all that's for me. That's me time, as it were. So okay. Any plans for Telford? I am going to go to Telford. I don't know if I'm going to go there for both days or whether I'll just be there for the one. I was just there for the one this year. I would prefer to be there both days, but I'll see. But I will definitely be at Telford. Maybe we'll like once a day or twice a day. I'll say, look, if you're around this area next to this stand at this time, I'll be there for half an hour. Come and say hi. No, I'd love to meet people. I love meeting people. It's really bizarre to me when people come and say hi. I'll watch your channel, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. One thing, please. No, I know a few of you now, but if we've not met before, please tell me who you are, because you know, sadly, to me, your avatars or icons. I don't know what you don't know what I look like. Sadly for you, I don't necessarily know what you look like. You could have been with me from you could have been like, I don't know, subscriber number 20 when I put the chipmunk on or something, and I wouldn't actually know you necessarily if I saw you. Obviously, a lot of guys I meet through the ethics things, whatever, I know them. But please do come and say hi. If you see me walking around any time in Telford, or any of the other shows that I might, if I go to other shows, if you're at Harrow and you see me there, please come and say hi. I'll be very, very happy to stop and have a chat. Really cool. Yeah. Yeah, boy, all sorts of wonderful things. Yeah, I know being in Canada makes a lot of things prohibitive. Yeah, but. Tony, yeah, it was early Friday morning. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining us. That's the cool thing about the internet and YouTube and all that is that you can talk to people all over the world with it, and you can chat and you can swap messages and that. Sadly, when it comes to our live stream, it's kind of a bit more tricky. So I'm really sorry to all my friends in far-flung wonderful places, many of which I wish I was in at the moment instead of soggy Britain. But yeah, the fact you joined in, thank you so much. Really, really cool. Oh dear. We're just trying to catch up on all these things. Met Alan Shepard. Oh my goodness, Alan Shepard, the only man to play golf on the moon, wasn't he? He had a 7-iron, I think, head fit that he could put on one of the geological tools. That's at the Smithsonian, I think they've got that. Great guy, great guy. Um, Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I'd love to have met more of the astronaut guys. I met Bill Anders, who flew on Apollo 8. He's the guy who took the picture of the Earthrise over the moon. He was a really interesting dude. Maybe I'll talk about that one day. He was really, really interesting. Yeah, got the Ace Attacker. Yeah, the Ace Attacker prototype kit. That's one of the ones I bought because it's also they've got the prototype has got the straight tail, and then the production aircraft had like a fillet added to the front of the fin. But they've got both in the kit, so you can make it as an F1 as well as the prototype, which is cool. Prototype, of course, featured heavily in the movie of The Sound Barrier, if you remember that. Yeah, cool. David, yeah, in Oz, time is Oz. Yeah, ferry. It'd be great. Again, if you're going to be in Telford, please let me know, and that'd be great. We can catch up. We can arrange to catch up. That'd be fantastic. Brian, oh, you see, you've flown on Concorde. You see, Mark, that's just so depressing. You've flown on Concorde. I've sat in one. I've sat in the cockpit of one, but I've not flown in one. And I'm really, really sad about that. My cousin used to work for British Airways back in the day, and it was when they had really good deals for staff, and staff, family and friends as well, and they had an offer where you could go one way on a jumbo jet in economy to New York and fly back on Concorde, and it was £400 each. £400. We had just bought this house, and we did not have 400 or 800 quid lying around. Stupid. What I should have done was borrowed it off my dad, because he would have given me the money straight away. I know he would for that. But obviously then we've got to stay there and do all the rest of it. But I always regret that. I always regret that. And you know, it's a plane I would have loved to have flown. I've flown supersonically in a Phantom, but as the guys at BA said, then the only other guys at our altitude and our speed are wearing olive green, a crash helmet, breathing through an oxygen mask, and they're not choosing from one of 3 vintage champagnes in their lounge suite. So, so jealous, my friend, so jealous. I haven't even flown on an A380 yet. I've always wanted to fly on an A380 since they came out. I saw the first public display of the A380 at Paris back in the day. Not flown on one, or a 350. I haven't done enough flying recently. Everywhere I go now, it's either a 777 or an Airbus 300 series, 320 series. Bit dull. Adam, I just found my WordPress page. I hope you have. There's a lot of cool stuff on there, and there's like a lot of rubbish on there, I'm sure. But Plastic Alchemist, me and Moz carpool karaoke with Ms. Modeler driving to Telford. Crazy, that would shut my channel down, dudes. I mean, yeah, the other guys, I'm sure, would make a great job of it. You do not want me singing karaoke, my friend. You do not want me singing karaoke. Yep, you know my musical taste. Have you not listened to the beginning of Monday Matters? Really? Do I reference to the real thing when I build kits? Yeah, sometimes if I think it's important, but then, do you know, a lot of the time, the guys who do the research, especially nowadays, the guys who do research at kits actually do a pretty good job. I know Luke spends, at Ethics spends insane amounts of time with real things and getting reference material to use for the kits and the build and everything else. maybe, yeah, if it was something really very specific, then I would absolutely like, I don't know what. If it's a very particular aircraft and I knew there was one, say, up at Hendon, and I wanted to make that exact aircraft, and there was something about it that was slightly different to standard, other than, say, the markings, then I'd go up there and I'd check it out and see. Um, I did a build of a scimitar, submarine scimitar a while back, and I wanted to do a wing fold, and there aren't any wing fold kits, so I've got the Buccaneer wingfold photo etch to do the basics of it, but to find out where all the cups were and to add extra pipes and stuff like that, I photographed the one at Yeovilton because happened to be there with my dad, and while I was there I did that. So every now and again I reference real things, but for the majority of the builds I do, frankly, I don't need to, because the research has already been done for me. I'm sure that will change. I'm sure that will change as things go on. The Terror Cruiser and Mace Missile, for example, in the kit it's US Air Force blue, and the missile's bright like Dayglow orange. It's like a cruise. If you don't know, it's like a cruise missile type thing on its transporter and launch pad. I was thinking it will look much more cool in camouflage, in US green camouflage, because I don't think they'd have driven around with a Dayglow missile even then. So I'm going to do the missile I've seen a lot of photographs of it in a more of a bare metal or white, or mixture of bare metal and grey and stuff like that. Might do some panel lines on it to pick it out. So I'll be using a lot of references to get the colours and things like that for that, obviously. But otherwise, yeah, no, I don't really. Not Iceland shopping, isn't it? Yeah, Adam, I used to sing, man. I used to sing when I was at school, but it was much more sort of classical choral stuff. Yeah, I don't say I would overpower things, but I don't think that a projected voice is necessarily the best thing for Highway to Hell, for example. Who knows? Finsbury Phil, I will do. I will do. As I say, maybe I think I will do it like first Thursday of every month. I'll do this again because it's been fun. And I have done nothing. I've made nothing. This camera may as well not been there, but whatever. It's fun. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Steve, Grimes. Yeah, radio control. I have never made a radio controlled anything. And I would like to one day make something radio controlled, maybe a vehicle, maybe a ship or something. I have made flyable gliders back in the day as well, balsa wood and all that, but I never sort of carried it on, and I started getting more into doing other things, this and that and everything else. You know how it is. Yeah, I got over the Atlantic with an old C-130. Yeah. I had a day out with the RAF Falcons once. It was when I was working for Minolta, the camera company. Before I had the cool job for 24 years, I worked for a couple of camera companies. I worked for Nikon, I worked for Minolta. And we were with Minolta, and we were sponsoring them by giving them camera kit for the recording everything that's going on. And they invited me up there for a day, and we went and did it might even have been International Editor Weekend. I'm pretty sure it was. They did a jump over there. So there all go, sort of piling out the back, and filming them do that, and then the plane just does this real down to get to low level, because it has to do the fly past at low level when the guys have landed and lined up in a nice line and salute, and the plane goes over. But transiting, they flew with the bottom ramp down, but the top ramp, no, sorry, other way around. The main ramp up, but the top hatch open as well. So it was so obviously below like 12,000 feet because of the oxygen. But if you put a harness on, you could lie down on the lip of the thing and just look down out the back. It's a beautiful plane, Hercules. I love a Hercules. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, it's not a problem. Anyone can sing, really. Large Revel kits like liners on military cargo planes. Robbie, no, I haven't. My mate Neil has made the A380, I think, in 144th, and he had a bit of a nightmare with it, but I haven't made any myself. Maybe I will carry one. I don't know. Yeah, cool. That. That would be funny. That would be funny. Yeah, my music teacher always told me to mime Yvonne. Yeah, that's so sad. No, everyone should sing. Everyone should have a go. You know, it's not bad. Okay, really? Your dad grew up in Christopher Evans. Your dad grew up in Fulham. Oh my God! If he grew up in Lilyville Road at number 70, my friend, we need to have some talks. We left there in 1971. We left there. It was okay. It wasn't the Fulham you know now, which is all very like shishi coffee. But it was rough, but it was fun. It was a nice place. What was really nice, it was one bus, number 14 bus, going straight to South Kensington, all the museums, the Science Museum, Natural History. In those days, the Geological Museum was separate from Natural History. So you know, every weekend I could just hop on the bus straight up and see all the museums. It was all free. Oh, absolutely wonderful. The thing I always used to do at the Science Museums, go up to the flight gallery, which is on the top floor, and they still have the Supermarine F6B, the Schneider Trophy winning aircraft. But in those days, the Schneider Trophy was there between the floats, and you could go and touch it. It's behind glass now, probably getting worn out or something. But that's really cool. They've got a Comet. They've got the Whittle E2839. They've got all sorts of wonderful things up. If you're in London, Science Museum, you've got to go to see a Science Museum. Really cool. David, got to take your son from Air Cadets. I am so pleased he goes to it. Thanks for dropping in. I do hope you come back. Thunderbird series got me into model making. Yeah, do you know what? That Terra Cruiser is like something from Thunderbirds, got to tell you. If you haven't seen it, there's a really cool program. I don't know if it's on something like Yesterday or whether it's on BBC Four or something. There's like a 1 hour special about Jerry Anderson and the model makers talk on there. Fascinating stuff. They use a lot of kits, lots of bits of kits. It's cool. Yeah, Thunderbird. Of course, you can actually buy Thunderbird models as well now. AIM are releasing loads of kits of Thunderbird, although they're not cheap. Well, it's like 40, 50 quid. They're quite expensive. There were some beautiful civil aircraft made in the 1930s. Would the Airfix do them? You know, I don't know whether they would or not. Really don't know. Really don't know. Yeah, cool. I don't see why not. I mean, there are bit of sort of drag and repeat. I mean, they've done the was it the HP42 they did recently? But it was a vintage classic kit, obviously in 144th. But there we go. Yeah, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Who knows? You know, you never really know from one thing to the other. Did I ever build a C-130, Dave? No, I haven't built a C-130 yet. I might well do if I get one that looks cool and looks interesting. Yeah, may well do. I like them. I just like them. I like a Hercules. Okay, Benedetto. That sounds really cool. Yeah, let's talk about that closer to time. It'd be nice to have somewhere. Mark, your cousin's Paul Weller. Oh, the mod father. Clem Attlee. I know where Clem Attlee is. I had a relative now. In those days, in the 60s, you had relatives everywhere in Fulham. If you lived in Fulham, you had relatives everywhere in Fulham. You know, the North End Road Market. My dad knew most of the stall holders down there. Great pie mash shop down there as well. Sadly gone. But yeah, we had a relative who lived in Clem Attlee, and he had a model railway set, big model layout upstairs. I remember visiting him there. It's Henry Compton. Wow. I went to Bishop's Road Junior School. But moved before senior school. My sister went to St Mark's down by not far from Craven Cottage. Yeah, any idea for a good 1/72 scale under 45 quid? Anyone got any ideas? Because I make so many kits. I can't really, I'm not in a great position. I make so many kits. Don't know what kind of thing you're interested in as well, Robbie. What sort of thing? Are you like World War Two, Cold War, modern jets, older stuff? You know, give us some ideas of sort of things you might be interested in. I'm sure loads of people have some great ideas for you. Revel Corvette. Oh my goodness. Yeah, a boat. A 72nd scale Corvette ship. My goodness, that's going to be big. S6B. Yes, it was a beautiful aircraft. I don't know if you saw. Oh goodness, my friend, great guy in Australia, John Marley. He made one for the 48-hour build project. He made a 48 scale S6B. Amazing. The airliner with the cabins in the wing. Can't remember that myself. I'm afraid. Can't remember it myself. Okay. Well, almost caught up. If I haven't read out your message, please, I'm not ignoring you. It's just so tricky to keep on top of all of them. I'll go back and have a quick look and see if there's anything special and different. And yeah, I can't. Yeah. Okay. There you go. So you ask a question on these feeds, and someone will know the answer. Derek comes back. It's a Junkers G38. There you go. A metre long. Oh my good God. That was Hobby Time. Fire Flash. Yeah, that was in the first episode of Thunderbirds. Tintin was on board, and the Hood had put a bomb on there to blow it up, and Ransom wanted to get all the secrets of Thunderbirds and all that, and Fire Flash was on there, and it had. You can get AIM do a model of the Fire Flash, and in the kit come the 4 elevator cars that, spoiler alert, it doesn't crash. That Virgil used to rescue them with 4 of them, of course, because one of them, you know the episode. If you don't, check it out. Go on ITVX or whatever streaming service. Check out. I love Thunderbirds. Love Thunderbirds. Benedetto, great. That would be fantastic. Thanks so much, man. That'd be really cool. Randy, you lost your messaging. Oh, bad luck. Will I ever do a model of a Fleet Air Arm Phantom FG1? Now, Darren, here's the thing. I do have an Airfix Phantom to do in 1/72nd. It is the 111 Squadron, the black one, display one, and also I think has, from memory, is it 56 Squadron? The surface one with the camouflage and all that, and the 8 billion stencils on underneath it. However, as is the way with Airfix, it's got all the bits for the to do the raised nose and all of that. So I could do. All I need to do is get some decals for it, and I would prefer to do it, to be honest, as the Fleet Air Arm one. Hush, I shouldn't say stuff like that, but I would. And yeah, do a little diorama for it. Yeah, why not? That's a nice idea. I think I will do it. I love the Phantom. Really nice. Yeah. Lady Penelope was on board with Fab 1. What, on the Fire Flash? Oh, must have been. They used it in different episodes as well, didn't they? Yeah, I'll check it. I'll have to watch them all over again. Darn, that would be sad. Yeah, Thunderbirds, absolutely brilliant thing. Stingray was cool. Captain Scarlet was pretty cool. Fireball XL5, fine. Supercar, okay. Thunderbirds rocked. Joe 90, Thunderbirds rocked. Sorry, that's just what I think. It's just my opinion. It's my stream and it's my opinion. Cool. I should have started doing something. I've actually got all the plastic somewhere for my Zero. Got all sorts of bits under here. Oh, this is my Bantam. Yeah, a Bantam. I'll show you that. That's what I've got with my little Bantam vehicle. You know, it's the thing from the first inspiration box that James Skiffin sent out. So yeah, there we go. That's sort of looking nice. That'll all go together very well, I think, at some point. Lots of bits of photo etch. You know, I'm getting used to doing photo etch now. I'm actually not scared of photo etch anymore. I used to be terrified of photo etch, but I'm not now, because I've just been taking it easy. The super glue, like the high viscosity super glue, that's been a game changer for me, and photo etch, really, because it doesn't grab instantly. You've got like 15 seconds before it starts curing, so you can get things exactly in the right place. Absolutely love it. I've heard of the Ulster Aviation Society because they were used by Airfix. There's something there. I don't know if it's a Gannet or Buccaneer or something. They used their aircraft a lot. It might be Ulster Aviation Society, because wasn't there one that had to ditch and it was rescued and pulled out? I think maybe that was one that was there. But they've used something heavily for one of their kits. It might be the Gannet that's there. They may well have done the 3D scanning of that one. Yeah. Fireball XL5, yeah. I don't know. Maybe someone does do a Fireball XL5. There's loads of other things. Oh yeah, someone was asking earlier if I'm in Greenford and there's a Hobbycraft or something. Yeah, it's like a 15-minute walk from my front door, so I've been in there a few times. They don't do Airfix now. They've fallen out of love with Airfix, but they've got Revel, they've got Italeri, they've got Tamiya, they've got loads of like paints and stuff like that. It's pretty useful, actually, pretty useful having them there. I haven't used the Ammo of MIG Ultra Glue. I will try that when I've got something with more photo etch to do. Like a lot of photo etch to do, which probably, actually, when I do the HMS Devonshire, I'll check it out for that, because that's got a lot of photo etch that needs doing. So yeah, I will, thanks for that, I'll have a look at that. But the other thing, I keep forgetting to say this, I will do it now, and I'll remember to do it again on Monday Matters. One moment. A lot of people have been asking about the stand I use. Okay, this little thing. It came from Australia. I got it on eBay, and it was shipped from Australia, and it wasn't expensive, and it obviously flat packed, and you bolt it all together and glue bits together and bolt things together, and it's brilliant. I got it because I was making, is it the Parnell Plover? My first resin kit, and it was a biplane. Smart move, Gary. So I use this to hold the wings in place at the right distance, because you can move them up and down and back. So you can then attach the struts with the resin. But I use it as a general sort of holder now, and it's really good. A lot of people have been asking about where you can get them. I can't find these guys online. However, if you look on eBay, and probably other shops as well, but I know you can get them on eBay. Ammo by MIG do a very similar thing. So if you look up something like biplane jig or something like that, Ammo by MIG do one. In the UK, I think they're about £30, but it looks identical to this one. And this has been really useful. You can use it for holding things in your spray, holding things upside down when you want to do bits and pieces, putting undercarriage on. Brilliant, just really good thing. So I'll mention it again on Monday Matters for people who don't tune in or catch it up later, but a lot of people have been asking about it, and that's where it comes from. I've got to have some wine, sorry. I've been talking for an hour and a half, because you must be bored by now, but anyway. I said to my dear wife, I said, I'll take up a big glass of wine because that way I can work my way through it over the 2 hours, and you can have the same, and then we'll get together afterwards and kind of have the last glass of wine together, which is what we're going to do. But that's the first time I picked up the glass since I got up here. I enjoyed myself too much. MP Model Plus, hello from Portugal. Hello from Portugal. Hello Portugal. Hello. Long-term allies of the British. Well done. I've been to Portugal once. Went down to the south, to Lagos and around there. Went over to the Atlantic coast as well. Oh, the food, man, the food was outstanding. Seafood and sardines. Oh my god, what a lovely country. If you haven't been there, go. I want to go to Porto because I like port, I'll be honest. Love to go to Porto, love to go to Lisbon, but down in the south was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. How are we doing? Alright, the FG1, okay, the FG1 apparently was used from Ulster, so FX scanned the FG1 from Ulster as well. That's what I love. It's funny, Luke at FX is saying that he finds it really difficult to go to a museum now, just to go to a museum and have it, because someone will now recognise him thanks to the YouTube stuff, but obviously the programme on yesterday with the hobbies, and he gets shown on there. People know what he looks like now. He does sprue talks and all these live events online, and everyone knows, so they see him at a museum. It's like suddenly the rumor goes, I saw that dude from FX. What's he making? What's he making? So what they did with Cosford, obviously he goes to Telford. He likes to pop into Cosford, chat with them. He knows them very well there. And what they did there was they have scanned everything in 3D at Telford. Sorry, at Cosford, RAF Cosford, the other part of the RAF Museum. They scanned everything in 3D, and what they've done then is given the 3D scans to the guys at Cosford. So now what they can do when they're planning the layout of the museum, if they want to move a new exhibit in or move one out to make room for something else, they can do it all in 3D rather than the old days it's all cut out bits of paper and remembering what was how high one thing was hung from. Can we get this under? They can do it all in 3D now. So Cosford got their planning system, and Airfix have 3D scans of everything, which is cool. I want to take my dad up there because Dad flew in the Pro Meteor one time when he was at Ford, RNAS Ford. The Pro Meteor was visiting, and the pilot wanted a volunteer to act as human ballast who had just had their lunch, and Dad was like walking back from the mess and said, do you want to hop in the front of this, lie down in the front of this, tell me if you feel queasy at all. And Dad thought it was brilliant, so he's flown in that odd Pro Meteor. He said the only thing that was really scary was that was in the floor is a glass plate, because you can look straight down, and landing the Meteor is quite close to the ground, and this thing was going, and it felt like it was going to scrape your nose off, but otherwise he actually loved it, absolutely loved it. Crazy Lucia, I'm glad you're not bored, my friend. I do my best. I try my best, and it's also due to the wonderful messages that are coming in. I couldn't do this for 2 hours and just. I have to bounce off these lovely messages. Yeah, I did, Simon. Do you know what? Not only am I going to take these out, I'm going to take these out the bag. How about that? I'm such a rebel today. There we go. There it is. It's a lovely little kit, actually. It really is nice. I made one before, as I say, and I actually did really make it. Hobby time is, if that's for the Phantom, then I ain't gonna pay 38 quid for a set of decals for a Phantom. Justin, hi from South Africa. Hello my friend. Love South Africa. Been there a couple of times. Been down to Cape Town a couple of times. Love it down there. Newlands, what a cricket ground. I saw England play South Africa. No, sorry, England is cricket. I'm sorry if anyone else doesn't understand that. I love cricket. I went to see England playing South Africa. I was going to say England playing South Africa. England weren't playing. South Africa were playing cricket. England were, I don't know, just enjoying the sun because they were getting hammered, my friend. But what a beautiful ground. Sitting down on the embankment under the oak trees, Castle Brewery, Table Mountain. What a place. Absolutely love South Africa. I can't wait to go back one day. I absolutely love the country. I love the people. Absolutely amazing. Cool. Lake District. Do you know what? Lake District is gorgeous as well. I have been up there. But it's a lot of strange places, but a lot of nice places too. Okay. Wow. They charged you €0.50 for courier fees for a CH54. My goodness. Wow. That's cool. Is that the new ICM one? That looks amazing. I've been watching that bits of that on Nigel's model thing, but way too big for me. Way too big for me. I mean, I was at an event once, and a guy had flown into it from Poland, and he said that his bag cost more to come from Poland than he did. His flight was like €20, but to bring a suitcase with him, the extras are like sort of €40 or something. So the airline valued his bag twice as much as they valued him, which is nice. Which is nice. We've all been treated like that. And Justin, well, you should be proud, man, because it's a gorgeous country. You know, it's do you know, if anyone wants to go see a country that is really vibrant and beautiful, and the people are great, the food is great, the wine. Oh my goodness, the wine is. Go to French Hook. You know, yeah, Paarl is lovely. Stellenbosch is a French Hook. My goodness, hills and the mountains and the scenery, and the wine is just exceptional. And you can also see where Mandela did his long walk to freedom. If you want a bit of tourism to justify the fact that you're then going to do a load of wine tasting in the afternoon, but damn. And Robben Island off Cape Town. That you want to be humbled by something, do the tour at Robben Island. You will never forget that. That was beautiful. Lovely, lovely city. Very, very dear friend of mine comes from Cape Town, so which is. Yeah, Captain Scarlet was cool. Captain Scarlet was cool. Oh, really? From the space shuttle? Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Oh, I can tell you things about space shuttle one day. Oh, dear. Love it. Hey, do you know, Lee, just got the Revel 48 Spirit of St. Louis. Do you know, I think I saw on Facebook, maybe literally 2 days ago, someone had finished one. It looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. An Ashes theme build later in the year, Tony. Yeah. Of course, what would have to happen is I'd have to burn it and put it into an urn afterwards. But yeah, an Ashes, a competitive Ashes model making. How about that? An Ashes series. Brits and the Aussies battling it out in a group build. I'm surprised no one's. Maybe someone's already done it. I don't know, but that would be cool. That'd be fun. And if everyone can choose which side they want to be, honorary Poms or honorary Aussies for the group build, but it's Poms and Aussies. I think that would be quite fun, actually. Let's see. Revel Hurricane. Cool. Well, Justin, that's very cool of you, my friend. I'm not a master model maker. It's lovely that you think I am, but I know I'm not. All I am is I'm a pretty average model maker. Let's be honest. I mean, you just have to look at YouTube to see that. And you look at guys like Plasmo, who's an artist. I mean, wow. If I ever get to that level, I'll be so happy. But you know what? Most of the time, I'm really happy not being at that level, because the vast majority of us never will be at that level. We may aspire to it. We may want to improve our technique. We may want to get better at doing other things. But you know, unless you're really doing it every day, actually, I do it every day. Why on earth am I not better already? But You know, I've improved a lot over the last year and a half, and I know that, and that's a good thing. But you know, I still make a kit, and I think I know I could do better than that, or I know there are ways I could possibly do better than that. But I'm really happy with it, and that's what I try and get people to really, really connect with. If you're happy to put it on a shelf and someone say, "Oh, that's cool," and you say, "Yeah, I made that," and you can say that with pride, job done. I don't care what the kit is, how much it costs, how you've painted it. If you want to get a Spitfire and paint it in rainbow colours, go ahead. If you're happy with it, that's a well-made model. It's like wine tasting. Years and years ago, I went to a wine tasting. A guy called Hugh Johnson was running it, who's like a god of wine experts. He was an amazing guy. And someone asked him, "What's about, you know, how do you know a good wine from a bad one?" And the guy said, "Well, what you do is you taste it and you think, right, I paid this amount of money for it. Would I pay that again? Yes or no? If it's yes, it's a good one. If it's no, it's a bad one. It doesn't matter whether it's a fiver a bottle, whether it's £100 a bottle. If you're happy to pay that money again for that wine, it's a good wine. End of." And I guess model making, model kits are like that as well. You know, people say, "Oh, is this a good kit?" Comes down to, would you pay 20 quid for that again? Yes or no? If you would, then it's a great kit. It's a good kit. If it's no, then it's not great. You know, just because something's got a massively big price on it doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It could be something that's just beyond the skill set of a normal model maker, and you're just going to get really depressed because you can't put it together and make it look like it does when everyone else does it or whatever. Or, you know, it could just be something's gone wrong. It doesn't matter, really. Would you pay that money again for that kit? Yes or no? Would I pay 60 something quid again for the 148th Buccaneer? Hell yes, I would. Would I buy another 24th Spitfire? Yes, I would. Because I think they're worth the money. Plenty of other kits, I won't mention them here, that I thought I don't actually that at half the price it would be too much. But yeah, you pay your money, take your choice, quite literally. So it's the same with builds. You know, you build something. If you're happy with the build, then that's a great build, as far as I'm concerned. So I do what I can with the kits I've got. I'm happy with what I do. In the main, I'm happy. I know I can do better with a lot of things by spending a bit more time, pay a bit more attention. I do tend to rush some things because I'm conscious I really need to get a video out or something like that, which is really bad. But you know, it is what you do. Please, all you have to do is enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, Ben and Jerry, the ice cream guys, my sister and family went there once on visit there in America, and they're over in America, and they brought me back a sticker, and it just says, "If it ain't fun, why do it?" And you know what? That couldn't apply more than to model making. If it isn't fun, dude, it's not worth doing. Hey ho. Sorry, bit of a rant. I am prone to a little bit of a rant now and again, as you may know, which is essentially what my supporter specials are. They're me just ranting and wandering off at tangents for 20 minutes or half an hour. But yeah, they're quite fun. Let me try and catch up with a few of these. Have I ever been to Netherlands? Yes, very, very briefly. Um, this is going to sound so middle class, it's awful. There was an opera by a guy called John Adams, who's a contemporary composer. It was an opera called Dr. Atomic. It's about the events leading up to the Trinity test in 1945, and it's about the characters of Leslie Groves and Robert Oppenheimer and Johnny Neumann, all these people that are involved in the and the interaction and the sort of sense of what they were trying to achieve and the dangers of what they were doing. All the rest of it. It's a beautiful opera. I love John Adams' music. It's modern classical music, if you know what I mean. But it's not quite, you know, throwing a box of assembled bathroom bits down the stairs sort of classical music. It is properly orchestral, but it's yeah, it's lovely. I love it anyway. It's not Beethoven, but I still love it. Anyway, it was being performed in Amsterdam, the Opera House, and it was cheaper to get a flight from Heathrow to Amsterdam, get the train into town, see the show, have a meal, and then go back on the same day than it was to go and see the same thing at Covent Garden, the same sort of opera at Covent Garden. So I thought, what's the point? And so we did it. We went over together. I went to some opera, went on the boat tour and all that sort of thing around the canals. I then went to the Opera Maria, then went on another tour off to Edam, went to see some clogs being made. We got together, had a Chinese meal on a floating restaurant, and got the flight home. It was brilliant. I haven't spent any other time in Holland, I'm afraid, in the Netherlands, I'm afraid. Something I need to do. Something I obviously need to do. Do most people consume pastries along with their tea and coffee? I don't. No, I don't tend to consume anything with tea and coffee, actually. Maybe the occasional biscuit. Glad you thought it was fun, Mark. That's really cool. Plasmo is insane. Yeah, he is, but he's an artist, dude. He's an artist. He's Night Shift. I need to check out, but Plasmo, we see him doing shading and stuff like that. It's man, it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it's good to watch stuff like that as well because you can see. It's always good to see something done by someone who's an absolute genius at it, because you still pick up little hints and tips. And yeah, you're right. If as long as you don't sort of put yourself down because you can't do it, then just accept that you can probably do something a lot better than any of us can. That's the way the world is. Yeah, Crazy Loacher is, dude, you're more than an average ordinary truck driver. You know that. You're way above average on so many levels, my friend. Just reminding me, my channel started out as ordinary bloke doing stuff, and that's kind of what I want to be. It's like I'm just an ordinary bloke that's doing stuff and isn't making models. And if you go way back, you'll see I was doing some little bit of gardening as well. Don't do that anymore. Greg Riley, do you know I've seen Greg Riley's name, but I haven't tuned into his channel yet. But I will. I do look at as many channels as I can, and always try and subscribe and things like that, please, to them and get some watches because it makes the channels work and it's really cool, absolutely really cool. Yeah, of course, Reefer Madness, yes. Do drop a link to a Discord server if you like to meet up after the stream or at any other time. And if you're on the Facebook group, drop it into that as well. Again, I'm just really, I don't want to be like too parochial and possessive about any of this. Do crossover, do link up because it's a community. It is a community, and that's what I want this to be. FX 135 vehicles made by Academy. Yes, they are. Although I'm not sure about the Ferret. The Ferret may be their own. Don't quote me on that yet. I think the Ferret is an in-house one. But yes, most of their vehicles are Academy. FX designed them, but Academy do the plastic and the boxing and everything else for them. But FX do the research and most of the design on their vehicles. But then, yeah, Academy do all the rest of it. But I think the Ferret might be different. I have got the Ferret on order, so that'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of cool things about brushes. There was one. Crazy Loacher, if you're still around, can you help me out on this one? The link you sent me to that airbrush from America, I cannot remember. It's on Barbatos Rex's website. He's done a review. They've got like a portable compressor and a main compressor, and these airbrushes, and they look really cool, and they're really, really, really reasonable. The odd thing is that if you buy it online at Amazon here in the UK, it costs like £90. And if you order it, so you'll get it by the end of April. So it's obviously coming from overseas. Okay, fine. If you go on the Amazon US site and order the same thing and have shipping through the Amazon Global Fulfillment thing, which is $12, you get it for like $59 or something. I'm kind of like tempted to get one just for that, but that looks a really, really, really nice airbrush. Rex is really complimentary about it. They do sort of different levels and stuff like that. But yeah, it's worth checking out. Yeah, if you want a reasonable price airbrush. Yeah, cool, great stuff. That's fine. Yes, the ferret is ethics. Thank you, Steve. I did think it. I did think at Christmas time, or not Christmas time, at product release day. I was chatting with Dale. I think he said there that it was an ethics. I do remember him saying that. Good, I do remember things. That's nice. Not quite as bad as I thought. I watch quite a few channels from time to time. I catch Moz quite a lot, and Matt on Model Minutes. I like the way he's going with his presentation and stuff. Is really good. He's a very, very good presenter. Plastic Alchemist I watch, obviously. Grace Models, Nigel I watch, Gavin I watch, Gavin Booth, for especially for the figures. As I say, he's doing some 18mm Prussian cavalry at the moment by a company called AB. Oh, the work is astonishing. Yeah, there's a whole stream. I've probably got maybe 20 subs on the side that I actually do watch, so it's quite a lot. Yeah. Mark, lovely to see you, mate. We'll catch up very soon. Glad you enjoyed yourself here. Yes, it is. Okay. That's, yes. Cool. Yeah, SU57. Yeah, never made one of those. Never made one of those. Revel Corsair, 1/32 scale Revel Corsair. I've noticed that when I was in, maybe in Hobbycraft or something, I was looking at the Revel, and I suddenly looked at it, it's like a 32nd scale kit for like, I don't know, 30 quid, 25, 30 quid. I'm like, it's gotta be mints. It's gotta be horrible. So I didn't buy it. I wasn't into buying 1/32 at the time either. Not really into buying 1/32 now, to be honest. I'm more of a 1/48 dude in many respects. Can't wait for the 1/48 Marauder to come from ICM. Oh my god, that's going to be amazing. That is going to be incredible. Dave, will you ever invest in a pair of God Hand nippers? I don't know. These cheap old things here, they work for me. If I find that the sort of kits I'm building are suffering because these things aren't doing the job, then I'll upgrade them. But for jolly old Airfix and all that, even the gas patch kit, they seem to work okay. They did what I needed them to do. So yeah, really happy, really happy. But I'm always open to upgrading kit when I'm going to see the benefit of using it. Do you know what I mean? It's like with airbrushes, so I've got this cheap airbrush, and maybe I might look at the one that's from America, because that looks really cool. Will I spend 100, 150 quid on an airbrush? Probably not for a long time, because I don't think my skills are enough that it'll make enough of a difference to justify it, if you see what I mean. I'm not sort of put myself down, or anyone who's got one of these, but I'm just not that good an airbrusher. Maybe when I start doing more brush detail work, like I did the camouflage, splotchy camouflage on the ME163, and I was kind of not happy entirely with that, so maybe I'd use a smaller nozzle and thin the paint out, and maybe a different brush with more control at the lower pressure would be better for me for that. I don't know. I'll see how I go with the SM79 doing the camouflage on that. I was thinking of, I'm not going to do it to you because it'd be poor, but I was thinking of getting the SM79, doing the unboxing and saying, yeah, it comes to this kit and it comes with these markings. I'm not going to do any of that. As long as I do these Spanish Civil War markings from the flotilla of Mallorca, I think, and it's all block colour, and you go, oh, I don't have to do the camouflage. But I thought, no, if I buy a vintage classic, I'm going to go for the box finish. Go for it, do it properly, don't cheat out of it. So yeah, maybe that's when I'll find that things aren't as great as I thought they would be with the airbrush, and I should upgrade the airbrush. We'll see. Okay. Reese, yes, with Telford, I will do a thing before I go to Telford, and yes, I will say where I'm going to hang out for a bit. I've got an invitation to one of the stands. Do you know what? But we'll sort something out. But I am definitely going to Telford. I will definitely let you all know where we can all go hang out for a bit. I'm not going to stand all there all day, and might as well get a stand. But because I need to go around and do what I need to do and see what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, I will definitely have a couple of times. If I'm there for 2 days, I'll do it twice on each day, but certainly twice on whichever day I go. If I only go one, I'll let everyone know ahead of time. I'll do it in Monday Matters, and that'd be great. That either the Monday Matters or my live stream or both. That'd be that. Yeah, I'll definitely be going, and it would be great. So, gallery, that's it, Mark. Thank you so much. Gallery airbrushes, they do seem excellent. The thing that really impresses me is that the nozzle, instead of being that one you have to get the little wrench out with and unscrew it with, and it falls and you lose it, or you trump it and you tighten it too much and it strips it or whatever, breaks it, whatever, it just drops in. It just drops in into a cup and you put the top on. It just seems so much, and it's so much easier to clean as well. Really impressed by those. But yeah, hey, so yes, go to Barbados Rex's site and have a look at his review of them, because yeah, and Jim has actually got one as well. Wait, are you attending WrestleMania, Ross? Not to my knowledge, unless that is a euphemism for something that goes on at Telford but stays at Telford. Or is there some sort of other event? Wrestling? No, not since the days of Kent Walton on World of Sport on a Saturday. No. I'm probably big enough in mass to be a wrestler, but I ain't big enough in sort of BMI terms. Not low enough BMI to be a wrestler, I'm sure. Lee, glad you enjoyed the evening, my friend. I mean, we should be wrapping up since it's just gone 10 o'clock, and I have had one sip of my wine, and I need to go and join my dear wife. Thank you for watching the Spitfire build, Lambert. What is a good colour match mix for the blue and red rounders? Yeah, on the 124 Spitfire, I would definitely suggest spraying them if you're happy doing that. Because they obviously don't have to any worry trying to get the decals to sit inside the rivets and the rivet markings and stuff like that. I used, let me see if I've got it here. Pretty sure I used Signal Blue. Is it Signal Blue or Insignia? Signal Blue and Insignia Red, I seem to remember. Can't find my Insignia Red now. But yeah, definitely Signal Blue I used. I'll move my camera out of the way. Okay. You were looking at a totally unstarted kit. There you go. Yeah, Signal Blue for the blue part. And I'm pretty sure it was Insignia Red or something like that. It was Insignia Red for the middle. There's no yellow on it, so I didn't need to do that. Yes, exactly, the days of Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, Simon. Yes, I remember. Yes, Ross, I am definitely going to Telford. Cool. Glad you all did. Christopher, glad to hear, and from someone from Fulham as well. That's lovely. Guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all so very much for turning up. I've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed this. Listening to me talk nonsense for 2 hours. next time it may be even wine fueled and be even more amusing. But yeah, Paul, yes, do go and get your supper, man. Thank you all for tuning in. I will now I know the technology works. I am definitely going to do this first Thursday of every month. Let's say first Thursday of every month, unless there's a reason why not. 8 till 10 again, and then maybe now and again we'll do different times and see what we can do. But thank you all so very, very much for turning up. Check out the Nick's Easter special tomorrow, because it'll be hilarious, and a couple of builds over the weekend. I'll be doing the X35 when it arrives. The MiG-21 is still going. My other kits are still going to do. Loads of things coming out. Loads of things coming up. So check out Monday Matters as well. Always come back for Monday Matters. That's this and Monday Matters are your source of news for us, as well as hopefully for the model making community. Thank you again. I will catch you very, very soon, and enjoy your weekends. Take care now. Goodbye.